Hi, I've just come to talk about a few different things that may look disjointed because they are disjointed to an extent. Even though when you're talking about economy, nothing is disjointed. They are all connected in one way or the other, pretty much like the network of conduits in the body. So I had made a video on indirect tax in India, very high, being very high. GST is one of the highest in the world. The petrol prices, where every other place we see the petrol prices have come down, but in India it has shot up like never before. It's hovering around between 90 and 100, which was unthinkable until a few years back. So, and it's not that the government is not aware how it would douse the economy furthermore, because the production cost would increase, yet is going ahead and doing this. There is this dynamic that works. The government earns its income by taxing people. Since in a developing country, mostly developing countries are developing because the bureaucratic setup and the administrative setup is not that astute, is not that skilled in institutionalizing those parts of the society, those parts of the economy that need to be institutionalized. So what happens? The only people, okay, one thing, the government has its income by taxing people. So in a developing country, not many people are able to pay the tax because not many people are employed. So one litmus paper test to see whether the government is working well is whether it's working to make a conducive environment for the employment level to grow. And if it is expanding, cool, it is working well. So it's not able to collect a lot of tax, because in terms of direct tax, because not many people are employed. So what they do, they start taxing people indirectly. So GST is one of them, and India has one of the highest GST, as I said. And people who pay maximum tax are these big business owners and public sectors. So the government keeps those people in good humor and gives them incentives and gives them permission to start new businesses. And even if these public sectors increase the price of their products, just as in case of petrol, there seems to be no leash on them. They go ahead, do it, because these are the people who pay maximum taxes. So you see, when you want to check out whether a government, whether an administration, whether a party is working well, is to see whether it's able to provide employment in the country. All people, all governments in every part of the world, they have some kind of cohesion with big business owners. But just make sure that when you vote for a particular party, that this cohesion should seem under control. If the party has its intentions in a good place, it would keep this cohesion, this cohesiveness, whichever is the right word, in control, and does not let those private people or public sectors have their way. Because at the end of the day, the real workhorse or Koluka bell is the middle class, because their income only gets redistributed or goes into the pockets of certain people unethically. I could make a video about it some other time. So now you know the dynamics, why big people, big business owners, public sectors seem to go unleashed in their strategy implementation, because these people are the ones who pay maximum tax to the government, and government needs to have some kind of an income. But as long as it as long as it uses its income properly. It's getting dark. All right, two things, and I wanted to talk about. The other one, I wanted to talk about senior citizens. How I don't even have an adjective for how bad are the conditions, because we are all senior citizens in the making, and things are not very cool. Not even in a societal, on a society level, the perception for towards senior citizens. There's one thing that I have noticed, that if you call a 28-year-old boy that you're a senior citizen, from the next day on his bones would start crackling, he would have pains here and there, and he would get detached thinking who should he earn for, because he's going anyway. So that's exactly what's happening with the senior citizens. Please increase their retirement age from 60 to 65 or 68 so that they remain engaged. That's on a middle income strata level. Because for the below poverty line people, any policy, any rule as it is aren't formulated, and therefore it should be the municipal corporation or municipality of a particular zone or a ward who should be responsible to see that all senior citizens below poverty line, they are engaged in certain work, in case these people don't have a disability. Now, one thing I noticed was that in countries, that all those countries who take good care of their senior citizens, there the retirement age is much higher. And it has been found that the senior citizens look out for only two things: some kind of an economic security and healthcare and economic security, not for fun activities, but for to feel as though they are active part of the society. They are an integral part of the society. So I spoke about, if I were to summarize, I spoke about two things that you can also look out for if you want to, want to check how a party is. A political party is performing. Just see how much is the level of cohesiveness or alignment that they have with the big business owners and public sectors, public sector units, and are they able to provide job? Because as long as they are not able to provide job, they would like a blood-sucking leech, they would continue to keep the indirect taxes higher, and it affects the lower and middle income group to a large extent. They get powder under pressure. The second thing that I spoke about is really close to my heart, and why am I clubbing? They're disjointed, but I'm still clubbing them because I won't get time to make a video for a long time, because I'd be traveling. So this was about senior citizens that I felt are given the shorter end of the stick for a long time in the country. So we block them emotionally, financially. We don't need to. On a personal level, please interact with them more and more so that you realize that they are excellent mine of wisdom, and they're most harmless when it comes to participation in active crime. So, and yet they are shortchanged for at many different levels. So please raise the retirement age for a country that has prime minister nearing 70 years and still working excellently. At many levels. People do have problems, but then all right, he's a very hard working person, so why not give the same opportunity to other people as well? Gotten really dark, the sun has gone down. I'm just going to wind up. Raise the retirement age, and for the senior citizens below poverty line who are giving 200 rupees per month as a pension, it is amount, because even if you go to get veggies, they cost more than 200, and above 79 years of age they are given 500, which is again a amount, because it doesn't take care of anything. It's not even a survival allowance. So engage them in something, even though small little thing, no freebies for them also, because nobody looks out for freebies. When it comes to real happiness, they want to feel engaged in things, involved in things. So pay them. The municipal corporation should be responsible, because in most of the countries that are successful in managing this problem, they have given this particular aspect to look after to the municipal corporation. That's it, I guess. All right, bye bye.